Hi, Elisa. You look
Hi,
so
Andrew.
good.
I'm sitting here in the very, very bright sun, but I can still see you. I'm tempted to put on sunglasses, but I won't. So that
Okay, so we were trying to do a live, which didn't work out today, but it will work out very,
not yet.
very soon.
We will figure it out. We
We'll
will
figure that out.
how to go
And
Instagram and Facebook and
exactly.
eventually YouTube, but not today. So here we are recording our conversation. So
Yeah.
I am in Ryandale, BC, in Canada.
And I'm on almost on the other side of the world. Probably it's the other side of the world. It's
Well,
it's Berlin, Germany.
eight time zones away.
Eight
Moment.
time zones away. And we are here to show our faces.
And to
And
talk about what we are doing, which is we're doing a lot of stuff. So we're just going to just cover the main points of
right.
what we do and how we know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not going to go into too much depth because we have a lot of past lives together, so we're not going to like go too deep there.
No,
Just how we
for
know each other.
not for the moment.
No, not for the
But I
moment.
think yeah, it's good just to say that we are both QHHT practitioners, quantum healing hypnosis,
Yep.
Dolores Cannon method. We have done the second level together, well, kind of almost.
Yep.
We know each other from the class.
We
That's
know each
what
other from Facebook,
from
getting together
Facebook.
Facebook meetings for QHHT practitioners who wanted to get together and discuss sessions, and then it evolved and evolved and
Yeah, we've met many, many times. We had many sessions with other practitioners together, and it was really important to have an exchange after we had the classes. And after doing sessions with clients, it was really important to know each other or to know each other in the large group and to talk about all the topics, all the issues, like not feel alone with everything. And that's how we met. And not only that, we have started a smaller group, the crew of
six
one.
started with six
And we have started experimenting in the quantum field together, right?
using various uh, scripts, custom made scripts that we practice on each other in a group setting. So our first curiosity, it all started by wanting to go into the future and for the purpose, as I remember, it was about 3 years ago. Uh, wow, time flies. Was to basically to anchor in the best timeline to see and anchor in the best timeline available to us at the time. And I think we did. I feel like we accomplished that. I feel like we anchored in some energy, and I mean everything's moving so fast right now, but I feel like that we were successful in envisioning and experiencing while in hypnosis, and then bringing back the the energy,
The
I would say,
energy of
of
that,
what we saw and experienced into this moment
right?
in order that that is the timeline that we um
Want to
follow.
manifest
Yeah,
that we want to manifest.
to manifest, right?
So yes, I think basically what's important to say today maybe it's that QHHT it's like a portal.
A
It's
spring, yes, a springboard, yeah, a jumping off point to
yeah,
these explorations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because doing or starting QHHT and having sessions with clients, it expands so much our awareness and our curiosity, right?
Hmm.
That we ask ourselves, oh, if this is possible, maybe this or this or this is also possible.
Yeah, and
That's
then
the fun part,
it is
actually.
fun.
Well, the fun part is all the way, but
Yeah. And and I've noticed through these explorations that when we whatever intention we're setting, it doesn't have to be like yes, the script sort of has magical words in it, but it's really the intention of what we want to see. We set out a basic nice script to get us there, and then we get there, and we set the intention and we get there.
yeah,
We see what
absolutely.
we're wanting to see.
Absolutely. So, Elisa, I'm kind of curious. I think we've never discussed it in like kind of detail. Uh, I would like to know, how was your first session, or how did you find Dolores, and yeah, how was your first session, your
Okay, well,
QHHT session?
there's a few different questions, but
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
so which
Well, maybe let's start with the first session.
let's go with the first session, my first practice session after completing the online QHHT course. The first session, I was really amazed that it worked. that that it just that my client saw herself in a past life, and then when I was speaking with the higher self, it 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 was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess now looking back, it's like I had the intention, we had the intention, me, myself, and the client had the intention, and there's the higher selves, there's the both our higher selves ready with some information, and it just works. So
Very
yeah, yeah, there was nothing it
good.
worked. There was nothing crazy remarkable about it other than that it worked. I mean, yeah. And what about you? What your first QHHT session that you
Well, I don't know if I told you, because it wasn't like after my class, it was before the class. Because I had sessions done on myself, 2 sessions, and I thought when I when I had the sessions, I thought I can do this. I can do this. And just a week after my second session, I went to visit my parents, and I asked my mom, my dad, and my brother to play kind of the game with me, and I started sessions on them without knowing nothing, right? And it was quite interesting because it kind of worked. Like it worked with my mom, with my brother, with my dad, it didn't work. And having no script, like inventing a script and trying to put something together, because I was so curious at that moment, how would that work, like. So I did this, and then I did some sessions with a couple of friends with some scripts that I came up with, and then many, many years later, I started to take the class, the QHHT class.
you did tell me that.
I didn't.
That's pretty amazing. It's pretty funny. So that just goes to show you have the intention. You don't have to be like,
Well, I was twice under. Like I went to a practitioner in Berlin, and she did two sessions on me. And while she was doing it, I was trying to remember the script, or to memorize whatever she was saying. So to be able to do it on other people, because I'm so curious. It's, like I want to know how this works.
That's great. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so curiosity is really a driving force of what we've been doing. Curiosity to me is like curiosity is next to godliness. That's my that's it seems to be a
Yeah.
quality of source. Not to get too deep into that,
Yeah.
but like source knowing itself, that's the it's curiosity. So,
Yeah, because it's the way that we expand. Like if you're curious, you expand your knowledge, and with every session, you learn more and more. And with the sessions or reading books as well, like if you're curious about the quantum realm. You're gonna get but as Dolores Cannon also said, she was getting informations like with spoon feeded
little,
information, a little bit today, a little bit another day, and that's how she expanded her consciousness and started understanding the quantum realm in her way and writing her books, and I feel like she's an incredible inspiration for us, right? Because she's
hmm
somebody who expanded her vision, her horizon all the time. She was not stagnant.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, and it's interesting. I noticed, you went with this work because it's so unbelievably or unknowably vast. It's so vast. The potential, the information that it can come from this work is so vast that the way that it seemed to work for Dolores and it works for us is that we get this information and then we kind of come to a conclusion and say, this is how things work. And you kind of have a moment where you could feel like you kind of know something about something, and then you get some more information that blows that out of the water. That's just like,
Right,
it also works like this, or that's not
right.
quite how it works. It's just like this. So it's not like it's wrong, but it's just the steps that you have to take. And for our human minds, we need some comfort. We need to feel like we know something.
Yeah,
So there's like a going in and out or up and down of knowing, and then getting curious and go, oh, I didn't know. Yeah. So it's
yeah.
a
Well, that's
journey.
I feel like that's what we do all the time, right? We have a world view, and then there's new information coming in, and then you rethink all that information that you had, and you implement whatever um new things come in. But in doing this work, like compared to before, you have all this new information coming in, like almost every day or every time you have a client, almost like it's an expansion for us to understand that things are not so fixed. Like
Mhm.
one of the last clients that I had who went to a lifetime of a person that lives today,
Right.
right? So this blew my mind because yeah,
To go back, we would might have believed or might have um an idea was that we just go see our own past lives.
right. Yeah.
That was a stepping point, that when we do a past life regression, we're seeing our lives. So that's what you're saying is way we fast forwarded through some stages to get to where that you had that session.
Yeah.
Somebody's experiencing somebody else's life that's alive today.
Yeah. Which was not even an option for me or for like I haven't heard from practitioners
Mhm.
which had such a experience, but we were thinking because we have started to do some work with remote viewing that this could be the fact that we have expanded our worldview in knowing that we can go look through the eyes of other people to collect information
Mhm.
that just that knowing as a practitioner, like our worldview, when we have a session, it how you can say it, it bleeds out to the other person, to the client, like the client,
Our worldview as the practitioner. Yeah.
yeah, it
So it's
expands to the client.
right. And
Yeah.
as I've been as I've had it explained to me within a session, because one of the things that I've been asking when we're doing these remote viewing hypnosis um, journeys is I will ask the higher self of the client or the subject why it was important for the two of us to be doing a session together on this day that we're doing it. And
It's a
if
good
they
question.
say it's the combined energy is appropriate. So it's, yeah, where I'm at, where the client is at.
Yeah, it's always a prop, it's always, it has always a meaning, I find. There's always, even though it's not their real past life, it's
Mhm.
just a remote viewing some things from the past through the eyes of somebody else, probably.
Mhm.
It has a meaning for the person. Like they can take out something from the experience.
Yeah, there's a resonance between that person and whatever that past life is, even if it's a resonance of something they're going through or resonance of an energy that they need. It's an
Mhm.
appropriate energy that they need. Like perhaps in this life, the session that you're talking about, I think
Well,
the
it was a
client,
regular the session I'm talking about, it was a regular let's call it BQH session because it was an online session. But it was for the client to experience, the client had certain questions and she needed to experience yeah, whatever, a lifetime to show her how to move forward with her job, with her life in general. So it was not it was not linked to the project that we have with the
right,
sacred sites.
right.
It was really, yeah, for the client at that moment. So
Yeah, one of the things that we already knew, which Dolores Cannon spoke of, was that sometimes a client, when they're under, they'll see what looks like a past life, but it's somebody else's past life. So but it was overlaid. When she's talked about it, it was it was something that soul, because I think
imprint.
in
It was like an imprint.
an imprint. So it's imprinted on their
Yeah.
soul before they come into this life, so that they have this experience. Especially if this is your first time to Earth,
Yeah.
then a soul would review a bunch of other people's lives through the
Right.
Akashic records, I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
and
Makes sense.
then have that experience of being on Earth, because so that when they get here, it's not a total wow, total
Yeah.
shock.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah, it's good to know. And yeah, Dolores has mentioned it. And then we sometimes we could ask even at the end of the session if this is an imprint, if this was a real lifetime that the
right,
person experienced.
right, or only
We
now
feel
it's,
like,
yeah, I'm not sure if these, when now people are regressing to the ancient sites, the sites that we've been looking at, if those are imprints or just they're just simply seeing the lives now for the first time. And yeah,
yeah,
these
sometimes
are,
we can ask Elisa.
yes,
Some
yeah,
we can ask, like I think I've asked you a few times when we had the sessions together.
yeah,
And
we've had some interesting sessions. What
yeah,
is this? What's going on here? Yeah,
Yeah, remember the session that I'm working on right now, where you switched from one character to the
right,
other. You came
right.
in, you were looking through the eyes of that bird person,
That's right.
and you could see the perspective of the bird person. And then all of a sudden you switch to the person the bird person was talking to, like that
That's
human
right.
being, that man. And
Yeah.
then the rest of the session you experienced as that man.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a better there would be more experience. Although when I think of it, I'm sure there would have been great experience looking from more from the bird person, but in the moment, that's where I felt like it was appropriate to go to see what he
Hmm.
was doing.
Mhm. So
He
this
was
is
working.
also something new that we haven't experienced before in the regular QHHT sessions or whatever online
Yeah, it's not
Hypnotic sessions.
yeah, that's not I've done it as a practitioner. I've moved not QHHT because it's more when we're experimenting and trying different things that moving the perspective to like once I moved it to a bird because the
Mhm.
client was seeing they were seeing through a body in a past life.
Mhm.
Um, and then they saw a bird in a tree, so I switched the perspective.
Oh,
Bird gave the bird her mouth basically and asked the bird questions of what she saw in the person. So it was just a different perspective.
that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. That's the
So
fun.
was it was that perspective of the bird helping her
Yeah.
understand
She
certain
had it.
things?
She had more another perspective of the story. Yeah. Because they were really connected to it was sort of went from being really connected with the tree and a bird and then there was a loss of connection so the bird
Mm-hmm.
had experience of that as well
Mm-hmm.
and yeah that was meaningful. I just go with my you know go with the flow. I mean sometimes I ask um just in regular QHHT sessions I'll ask a question that I and then I go like why did like to myself I'm like why did I ask that question? Of course, the person's got their has their eyes closed. They don't see me, but I'm like, the heck was that? And then
Yeah.
the person will have a very good answer.
Yeah.
So I know that like things come to me in the spur of the moment, and I trust. I just trust whatever question just came blurting out of my mouth is appropriate.
You trust yourself, and you trust also the creativity that you experience, or the connection to your higher self. Like there are probably many questions popping up from the higher self of the practitioner, right? Because you connect it in a different way when you work with the clients.
Yeah, well, we enter into this sacred space where the rest of the world is shut out. And
Right.
yeah, it's quite a unique space to be in, especially for a full QHHT session, which is often around 6 hours long. You, yeah, there's room after, putting the do not disturb sign on the door, turning your phones on, turning everything off. It's just practitioner and client, and which makes a lot of room for to receive guidance easily
Yeah,
from
it's a very
myself.
special room that we are holding. And yeah, for sure, it's not only for the client something very special and unique that they are experiencing, but for us as well. Like every session, or every session that I can speak for myself, every session that I have is very, very unique always. And uh, also, as you said, it has something sacred about it. Like
Mhm.
it's a way to connect. from heart to heart or from really on a deep level with the person, which you don't have that opportunity, let's say, in everyday life, or mm, not that
Yeah,
much.
it's like stepping outside of time in a way. It's just stepping outside of the hustle and bustle. The, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It is a very special, it's special to be able to offer that to somebody and then yeah, connecting in such an intimate way, such a deep way with somebody, often strangers, and
mm,
knowing things about somebody that many people in their lives don't know, and then it ends and
that's it. Yeah, let go,
let it go.
let it go, and yeah, the
Yeah,
person.
I can't remember the exact quote, but one of my earlier sessions, I think it was like number 8, somewhere around there, and and it was, oh, Metatron came through the client. So
Mm,
Metatron was talking to me as well as about the client, talked to me, said every session is a link in your own, I can't remember the word, but evolution, something. So every session has a little something for me too.
if people are watching, if when we will post it probably on YouTube, and they have questions, we would love to see their questions, right?
Yes, any questions you have about
And also
QHHT,
questions
what we're
about the
doing?
topics that we could talk about in other sessions, like if people are curious about certain things and they would like us to talk about certain topics, I don't know, about star races or
There's so many things.
whatever.
Whatever you want to hear about that you, yeah, just put in the comments below and we will keep recording videos and we'll talk about whatever topics you want to hear about.
Very cool.
Okay, well,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Andrea.
Thank you, Lisa. It's always a pleasure talking to you.